okay. And of course, at the time, we were annoyed. I guess, especially when you have multiple reviewers and several of them are like fairly positive. And then one, really pushed. Just they started out as a weak reject, and then they moved to a strong reject after the rebuttal. Like they were like they didn't want to get this in. That's okay. It happens. I mean, but then we thought about how to respin it to address some of those the weakness in the argument, in the legal argument of the paper, so to speak, and give it an easier sales pitch for why this was an important contribution. Which is, it was tricky because this is a topic. I mean, there's been tons of work on verification of C programs, so it's a crowded field, and you have to figure out the right way to articulate a gap in the literature. So that was, and then it got accepted to the PLDI and got a best paper award and all that. It was, my student actually Michael gave a talk at some mentoring event recently, which was great. I thought it was a great talk, where he talked about this incident as like an example of how it was really rejection, though initially frustrating, was actually ultimately useful, because in respinning it, it also gave him a way of thinking about his whole thesis, like a way of thinking about what is the overarching contribution of his thesis, which wasn't there in the initial Pobble submission. Like that story wasn't there, but it became much clearer once we did the respinning.